What up guys, I'm Mike from Cali Woodworks and today we'll be unboxing the AnyCubic Kobra X all new printer that just came out. This thing's said to be the bamboo killer. We're gonna unbox it, put it together, and see how it performs in our first video. Let's get to it. So first things first, we get to unboxing. There's a build plate, a bunch of tools, screws, the power cord, the filament holders. Next, there's a bunch of zip ties you have to cut off carefully. You got the X-axis assembly and the lower portion of the bed. The packaging is very similar to the BambuLabs A1 printer. The first thing you want to do is put the X-axis onto the base. And the next things you want to do is remove the shipping screws so you can put the X-axis up, and that makes it much easier to put on the bolts for the base. Next, you're going to want to lift the X-axis up and put some grease. Even though it has grease from the factory, putting a little extra does not hurt nobody. After that, you will put in the 8 bolts that are provided from AnyCubic and tighten them down. I always like to bring them up close, just tight enough to hold, but I don't torque them until I got all of them in place. Once I get them down to the base, I go around torquing them carefully, making sure they're snug, but not so hard like my life depends on it. Once you get the 8 bolts torqued down, you're going to put the caps on. They go on and slide to the left and right. Next, we will install the purge nozzle wiper, and that gets hooked up by 1 bolt, and lay the machine on its side. There's 3 wire connections where I'm installing right now, and then there is 1 more that is connected up top. After that, you put the cap on, flip the machine over, and then we will start installing the spool holders. This goes on super easily. It's labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. One goes on the left, the other goes on the right. Next, we install the PTFE tubes. There's a total of 4. One goes to each side of the filament holder. And then we put the clip to hold them all together. Put the build plate on, and that's all, folks. Assembly. Let's talk about it. That was fast. That took me less than 5 minutes to put one unit together. All it was a couple of bolts, which I really like. They're nice big bolts instead of little tiny screws. It was a total of 8 bolts. All I had to do was tighten those down, put the purge wiper on, the 2 caps, flip the machine over. There was a couple of things I had to plug in, and literally put a cap over it. I think that's amazing. So far, I'm impressed. AMS unit. We don't have one. This is a multicolor printer, and the AMS unit is basically built in this head unit, unlike the BambuLabs A1s you see behind me. I love the fact that it's built in here. How well will that perform? Let's find out. The RFID reader has got to be the sickest touch. It makes color loading super fast and easy. Alright, so I was going to save this for a later video, but why not? We're going to put the A1 against the Kobra X to the test with a multicolor print. We're going to print a coaster with 4 colors total and see which one performs better, has less waste, and then we will get down to our final bits and reviews of this video. First thing I always do before starting any print is spraying my beds with alcohol and wiping them down. I sent both prints at the same exact time, maybe a second apart, sending the BambuLabs A1 first. The Kobra X was definitely more responsive and started printing faster. I love the display on the Kobra X, which displays which filament is currently in the extruder. A really cool factor about the Kobra X is that the bed size is slightly bigger than the A1s by 4 mm on the left and 4 mm on the front. It might not sound like a big deal, but there's been many times that I've had to downsize items that I'm printing due to the fact that it was literally a millimeter smaller. As you could see in the video, the Kobra X has so many layers ahead of the A1, claiming the speed title in this print. All right, so that was pretty cool. The AnyCubic was about 14 minutes faster on the print. It finished 14 minutes faster. It looks like it has a lot more waste, a lot less waste for the AnyCubic compared to the A1. That looks like a significant, at least half the amount of less waste on the Kobra. It was 14 minutes faster. I believe they look identical as far as quality goes. Let me bring that over to the camera. The quality is literally identical on these two. You could see they printed just as good. I can't if I were to close my eyes and turn these around, I wouldn't be able to tell you which is which. We use the same exact filaments for both. Boy, was I surprised. I have been waiting for somebody to be a better contender than the A1 for a very long time. I've been printing with these since they've been out, and this thing really blew me away so far. 14 minutes faster on an hour, 10-minute print, which is amazing. Less waste. And literally $299 at the time of this video. I got mine for $239 because I pre-ordered. I love the fact that this machine has the RFID scanner. So what that means is if you have a RFID filament, you could literally hold it up to it and it will scan it for you and input all the information for you. That's very amazing. I gotta say, that's a very cool one to have on any printer. The only drawback of this printer, and that's because I run a 3D print farm, is that whenever you put in the filament, you'd have to push it in all the way until it gets to the head, because this thing doesn't have an AMS unit. Compared to the A1, I could literally pop my filament on, put just the tip of the filament in, and the motors will do the rest. They'll move it over. Having 55 printers, you could imagine I change filament a lot, and that would definitely be a downside for me. So I definitely have to reconsider if it would be worth switching out my printers or adding a lot more of the Kobras after I use it a little bit. But as of now, overall, I'm genuinely impressed with this printer. I'm going to put it through a lot more tests in the future and see how this thing performs. But overall, I can't say anything bad about it other than that one downside that I noticed. The cool thing about this is that it doesn't have an AMS unit, so technically it should outlast the A1, but it's a brand new printer, so I can't speak for them just yet. I would have to use it and put it through the test to know 100% if that's true or not. But the reason why it uses less filament, the reason why it has less filament waste is because this filament drags all the way down to right over here where the cutter is, and it has to retract a lot less or push out a lot less filament in order for it to be able to purge to the next color. Compared to the A1, it has it all the way up here, which uses a lot more filament to purge, and that optimally gives you a faster printing time on the Kobra and less waste, which is amazing. So that being said, I would have to say, hands down, this would be the clear winner, minus the fact that you would have to feed the filament in by hand. And I don't know how you guys would think of that as an issue or not, but for me running a 3D print farm, I feel like manually running this in all the way down to here is very time consuming. So we'd have to see after a couple months of use. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll be back again with more videos. Please leave in the comments any questions you may have. I'd love to answer them for you. And at the same time, any of your thoughts or tests that you want me to put these printers to, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to do it. Once again, I'm Mike from Cali Woodworks. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great one.